The Greek record holder, just 22, very, very quick in the circle, manages to stay in. And that's not bad, about 65 metres. Reasonable opener. Seventh in the European Cup earlier on this summer, seventh in the European Championships last year. Indicating a pretty good championship temperament. And Papageorgiou there, 64.72, just shy of 65 metres. She's in ninth.
Well, 3 have thrown, and I can possibly work it out myself. Papageorgiou from Greece, 64.72 in the first round. Followed that with a 59.94. She's lying in 11th position. And she, like the last couple, will need a big throw. Just 2 athletes left to throw. Sineva Masters of the Cook Islands is next up, number 208, as we look at this replay of Alexandra Papageorgiou. Concrete circle. "28 years of age. In fact, her name is spelled Mahorn, but pronounced Mayen. No apologies for her, and that looks pretty good. In fact, that will be 67 metres and some change. There's the US record holder with that personal best of hers of 72 metres and 1. As I say, this year, 71 metres and 33. Didn't qualify for the World Championships 2 years ago. 4th in the World Cup, T3, and then followed that with a 66.16. Finishes with a 67.25. So that's her best throw of the day, and again will be enough. She's going to finish this competition in about 3rd place. Lift from 1999. Is a personal and season's best. Just to bring you up to speed, Menkova, who threw before her, and Shekarova, both recording no throws. And that's a good throw for the German. Just over 68 metres. Over. That's yellow arc of 68 metres and 50. As you heard Tim say, only 2 in the group this morning. And judging by the warm-up, in a warm-up, only 23 years old herself. Second in the Commonwealth Games last year in Manchester. 7th in the World Cup also last year. No, I don't think she liked that. That came in this season, earlier this year. She's been had a very long season. Obviously, competed in the Australian season back in January of this year. So very difficult for the Australians to hold their form and peak at the right times. It's hard enough for any European athlete to do it when the major championships is in Europe, but need some careful. Top 12 to go through. Bronwyn Eagles now from Australia. The bronze medalist from 2 years ago. Commonwealth record holder. Her best is 64.97. And that one is going to fall short of that as well, I think. So she will take no further part. She doesn't make the final. Which, incidentally, having a look at my list here, you can see that women's hammer throw final on Thursday, 8:45 local time. That's 7:45 British Eurosport time. So a couple of days to recover, these ladies. And they have been out there a long time. Some 12 o'clock this started. They're about 10 minutes late. So they've been out there about an hour and 20 minutes. 5:04 is her personal best. She's a Cyprus record holder. '17th in those Commonwealth Games last year. Gives that a big yell, but really to no avail, because that is way, way down. I'm just waiting for that mark to come up. Not that it's really going to set any records. 55 meters and 20. Yep, way down. She's a 65.04, so she would need to set a personal best to qualify automatically. She'd need to set a personal best just to qualify. Italian, there she is. She's the Italian record holder and 4 times Italian champion. 70 meters and 43 is her best, and that also coming this year. So a lot of these throwers setting personal best this season. Still relatively a new event, so athletes improving all of the time. It's a little ripple of applause from this crowd that have decided to stay here. Some 10,000 or so hardcore supporters, I suppose you could say, because you've really got to be into hammer or maybe the decathlon to be sitting here at the moment. Very, very quiet sort of couple of hours, really. Not a hell of a lot going on.
I think, Derek, too, a lot of people buy packages, don't they, which incorporate tickets for every session. And if they've got the... Hey, come on, let's get...
The Italian record holder and 4 times Italian champion. Well, that's come out pretty low and just inside the sector, so it will be a valid throw. She walks out the back of the circle. It's going to get it measured, and that is going to be below that. .60 meters and 57. So she'll finish in 10th.
Florence Izet of France then goes next. Listen to the support she's getting. 3 times US collegiate champion is Izet. And that's not a great effort. Reasonable. Her compatriot. Attends the Southern Methodist University, does Izet. And her opener 62.12 against Shaw's 66.10. A charge who might be a very good technician, might get it all right in training, might have polished things up nicely with a good competition or a good last training session, and then they see them throw here when it really matters and just not produce the goods. This is Berlicic of Croatia. And that's a pretty solid effort. Well, I say that, it's down around 60 metres, maybe less, about 58 metres. But she is a 68-metre thrower. Twice world junior champion, actually, the 20-year-old. And European junior champion as well a couple of years ago. Those world junior titles coming in 2000. And Chile, same championships where Marc-Louis Francis.
And this is Divos, the Hungarian, who has thrown over 70 metres at her best, 70 metres and 79 this year though. 67.40, so she's over a metre outside that automatic qualification mark, and that is way down, and it's out the sector, and to boot she clipped the edge of the hammer circle, so did everything wrong there.
I'll tell you what, it just skimmed over the heads of a group of photographers standing about 30 metres from the cage. Divos then, the first to record a no throw, and there were dozens of them in the Group A competition.
69 metres and 24 is a seasons and personal best, and that will come down a little short of, I'm sure, where she would like it to. 56, 57 metres at its best. It may be a bit more, maybe I'm doing a bit of an injustice. We'll know soon enough. .63 metres and 10. So indeed, I wasn't doing her an injustice. Does something huge here. She will take no further part in this competition. She's down in 14th place. And judging by that, well, it's not too bad actually. It's better than it looks. Get her up enough. It might take her up 1 or 2 places, but it's not going to get her into that final. To do that, she would need to throw somewhere around 65 metres and 29. I'm afraid it's not quite that far. It's 64 metres and 42, so she only goes up 1 place from 14th to 13th. So just 8 athletes to throw. Britain's Lorraine Shaw, the Commonwealth champion. She was 6th in Edmonton and has thrown 68 metres 93 this year. And that was in Loughborough back in June. And that was a 16th British record. So she is capable of getting into this final, is Lorraine. And with mixed fortunes for the British team this year, it will be a well-deserved place for us, and it's a good throw, and it may take the lead. Well, it will take the lead.
That's a fabulous opener from Lorraine Shaw. Very encouraging form indeed. As you said, Derek, I mean, a season's best, a lifetime best, 68.93. She's just thrown what? Ooh, 66 metres there or thereabouts. I mean, only 2 or 3 athletes in that first group came up with good throws in the first round, and that's the first big throw in this B group.
That might be enough to get her into the final on its own. Opening up with a no throw. 67.86 is her best. And that too has come down very short. Gets the white flag, but it's all immaterial really, because she will also take no further part. So Marino, the only person getting the automatic qualification mark, and it took her 3 throws to do that. 70 metres and 91. That's what we'd expect of the defending world champion. And as I say, the final for the women's hammer on Thursday night. 64 metres and 53 in the first round for Hussein, the African champion. back in 2002. And now we've got the theme tune to Hawaii 5-0, and she improved to 63 meters and 92. Do you remember Hawaii 5-0 as well, Tim? Back in 1999, former world and European champion. Won the World Student Games twice, in 97 and 99. And that looks good. Well, it's come down just short. She'll get in front of Lorraine Shaw, and that's round about 68 meters.
Well, she's not happy with it, obviously. An athlete who is such a big thrower, 76 meters. She's thrown almost 8 meters further than the required qualifying distance here. And that one from Melinti, 67.23, will undoubtedly be good enough to get her into the final. For the 23-year-old, 67.5 meters this year. And that one, well, good 5 meters, only about a 62, 63 meter effort from Poiri. Did place 5th though at the European Championships last year. No, smiling, but don't think she liked it too much. Poiri there, the mark 60 meters 49, even less than I thought. Through
Masters. She's at the bottom of the pile at the moment. She's down in 22nd place, and that's where she's going to stay. 41.54. Her best throw coming in round 2. Opened up with a no throw and closes with a no throw. Well, she gets the white flag, in fact. But it's not really going to be anything to write home about. I don't even think it's as good as 41 meters 54. Let's have a look.
71 meters earlier on. Now Svetlana Sudak next up. Belarusian, so her compatriot take gold last night, Ivan Tikhon, in the men's equivalent of this discipline. And that's not bad from Sudak. That's around 66 meters. She's a 68 meter thrower herself, 68.5 meters almost. Lorraine Shaw incidentally shunted down to 5th place now with that opening effort of 66.10. But she looked very, very solid when she did achieve that, Lorraine. I'm sure there's more to come. Still in the first round, by the way. It really is.
From Belarus, 68. Got up, 31 years of age now, and that's pretty good. That's not bad. Now she's lying in 6th position. Lorraine is in 11th or 12th position, just trying to work it out. I think it's 12th position. And Skodak was the only person who could have stopped her from getting into the final. So we think
only previous appearance in a major international championship at the Olympic Games, where she failed to qualify for the final. And that one from her, about 66 meters, maybe 65. Reasonable opener, but I don't think as good as Lorraine Shaw's 66.10 effort. Curiously, when in the first round of the A group there were so many no throws, in this first round of the B group, Derek, and we're about halfway through it now, there's only been one no throw, and I wonder whether or not just the time of day isn't the explanation for that. The A group, of course, having
Nevsteva. Only 21 years of age. come down quite short, but it's a little ways away from that qualification mark. And almost the same thing happened in this group in the early rounds of this, or the early throws of this group. A lot of the throwers struggling to get their distances, and also with the no throws. But at least we've only had one no throw, 1 out of 4. This morning it was like 3 out of 4, so 63 meters for the young Russian. Yipsy Marino, 22-year-old Cuban athlete. Well, as Tim said, seemed to do it in the warm-up, but on some occasions, just mentally going through the motions before those 4 turns in the circle that get quicker and quicker. Not the biggest of hammer throwers, but very strong. 8 meters and 50 automatic qualification mark. So this is her second effort, 66.76 in the first round. Can she qualify by right automatically? Well, no is the answer to that question. And she says she's heading in the right direction, but doing a lot more work than I'm sure she wants to. The defending world champion. Just fold her arms there as if to say, oh, well, I ain't impressed with that. Come on, Hammer, do something, she's saying. Oh, she's got one more attempt to go. I mean, she's lying in 3rd place, and pretty much sure she'll qualify to the final with 67 meters and 20. Position over. That looks better, and that's what we wanted to see. That is way over. That's what she did in warm-up, and I'm sure she's been frustrated with herself with the first show than anything else. That's more like it, she says. Gets faster and faster with those 4 turns, and look at the aggression in her. She was definitely a bit upset with that. 70 meters and 91. The first and possibly only person who will get over that mark today, because everybody else really, quite frankly, haven't looked like getting close. But it's still good for Lorraine Shaw. She's in 5th position.